Just doing my hair and makeup.
Oh, perfect.
I like in that Jiminy Glick video when he says to John Hader, "You didn't go through hair and makeup." The new Hollywood.
the donut thing.
Fucking hell.
Save that for later. Oh. I haven't seen that character in like
No,
ages. He used to come out and do it on like the Late Show, right?
The fact that he's brought it back. No, he just says that about Willie Nelson, the first of the Mohicans.
Very good.
I watched an old one with Ice Cube, and he's just like, "So when did you change your name from Vanilla Ice?" It's so funny. And Ice Cube's just like, "I didn't change my name." It's so good.
Should we do this thing then?
Yeah. Do the intro, dickhead.
Yeah. Stop making me laugh. I'm crying now.
Can't help it. I'm really funny.
Or Jiminy Glick's funny, either way.
Yeah. That's how you do it, don't you? You just steal other people's bits.
Welcome back to another episode of Vice Press Open Channel, where we get together to talk about movies and posters and all sorts of things. I'm Florey, your host. That's Matt Ferguson there.
Hello.
And that's James Henshaw.
Hi.
And we are back, as per usual, to what have we got this week? We've got a little bit of, I'm furious at Russell Crowe. Probably some Jiminy Glick talk randomly. And a few other things. What did we just say a minute ago before I did the intro, James?
We're talking about the bear.
Oh, a bit of bear. Yes, that's back.
Bit of bear. A bit of Big Game. Just quick.
Matthew mentioned some films last week that I watched one of, which was pretty cool. So we'll get to that. Right, I'm just going to go and rant at fellow Australian. Now he's been demoted back to New Zealander, which he actually is. Russell Crowe. I said last week when we were talking about Unhinged, sight unseen, apart from James, that I was back with Russell Crowe. Like, I never liked him back in the day, and I'd come around on him in his later years when he just seems like he's having a bit more fun. That movie was terrible, and it really, really pissed me off the entire time that I was watching it.
It was very dumb movie.
Well, it's just really poorly made.
Yeah.
And I think the only reason that anyone's ever heard or seen of it, and the reason they had him screaming at the camera and telling you to watch the movie, was because Russell Crowe was the only thing that anyone will ever remember about it. It was dog shit. It was a directed video, Jason Statham starring piece of shit.
You kind of know what they're going for. They're going for like Duel or like Breakdown or those kind of like.
Well, sure.
But it's just
it's
so scattershot and all over the place, and then it's like him like hunting down other people or whatever. If it was just laser focused on him just trying to get revenge on her for a slight infraction, and you didn't need the backstory about why he's gone crazy or anything. It's
overcomplicated.
He's just a crazy guy. Like in Duel, the Steven Spielberg classic, you don't even see the truck driver's face; just see his boots.
Right, so we're just going to spoil this because no one should watch it, right? So it starts out, the opening scene is Rusty Crowe having a real bad night. His wife's giving him the flick or whatever. So he just goes and kills her and burns the house down. This is the opening scene. From the get-go, that's just a stupid decision. Like, you've removed all, like, if that could that have been a reveal before? You're like, oh, why is this unhinged man following me around in this car? Oh, we learn in flashback or through a monologue that he's fucking lost it. Yeah, well, true, but like, if they wanted to do that, and it was really bizarrely like, what's the message is that we shouldn't be on our phones and that we shouldn't be so grumpy all the time. Well, what the fuck are you on about? It's just really ham-fisted, and I hated it. Done.
I disengaged from it. I basically just stopped watching it, and it just glazed over because it's just not particularly well done, other than little bursts of Russell Crowe being engaging because he just is. I was like,
even his acting I thought was terrible. I don't know what accent he was trying to do. I don't know.
Oh, maybe
he should have done his Thor accent, and then it would have saved the film. I don't know.
I just think a simpler is better. It's like we were saying about Sisu is so Simple. He's got his gold. He wants to go to the bank. There's Nazis in the way. They want to steal his gold. He kills all of the Nazis. That's it.
What do you know the director of Sisu's name? Because I had it like I did it over and over in my head, and now it's gone.
It's a Finnish name, so it just leaves my brain because it's
Anyway, him. This leads to the other thing we're talking about. I watched his first movie.
Second, because Rare Exports was the first.
Okay,
one.
It's confusing because he did a short where of Big Game or something. Anyway, so I watched this film with Samuel L. Jackson, half of Hollywood's character actors, and a small Finnish boy, and it was brilliant. And this is the same director as Sisu, and it's like it just sort of dawned on me, like watching Sisu, I realized that he's like, oh, this guy's thing, it seems to be, what's the coolest decision I could make at this moment? I'm going to do that. And he's got a knack for it because these are not high budget films. They're relatively, they feel like they're made on a bit of a shoestring.
I think it was like 6 million for Sisu.
Yeah, which is probably his highest budget, because that movie looked really, really, yeah, there you go. James has the internet.
James, you should watch these. You will love them because I know you like Rare Exports. But these are like.
I was going to watch. Yeah. I was going to watch Sisu this week. Rare big game. I just completely forgot about.
It's on Netflix. Big Game, so it's
I should watch that one.
It's easy to get.
I was going to watch Sisu. We had, but we've cancelled our Sky Movies, and the cheapest I could find it was $9.99 because you can't rent it. So I was like,
is it on Sky? Yeah.
So I could watch it. Amazon, you can buy it for $9.99.
But all I can say,
might be able to set you up with a little sneaky wink, wink.
There's a bit in Big Game where Ray Stevenson parachutes out of an airplane, and in like normal hands, that would just be like him parachuting out of an airplane. First of all, it isn't. But he goes backwards for some reason, and then there's also missiles coming up at the airplane at the same time, and he's like going backwards as the missiles go by, and he's shot. And the design of it is just brilliant, and you're just like, this. I'm in for this movie. And again, like Sisu, it's got setups and payoffs, loads of setups and payoffs. It's great.
Really fun. Really,
you just
fun
know
movie.
when there's that fridge that they're doing something with that fridge, and then it was just this is good.
So he seems to be one of those rare directors that so far has a flawless catalogue with those 3 films.
I would say that
they know what they are.
Sisu, well, that's true too. But
flawless on an entertainment level.
Yeah.
It's probably the way to put it.
Sisu is definitely like, I would say that is actually a flawless. Like that's a pretty much perfect movie. That I think he's hit something with that. Like that's his top. Now he's like, that's a proper film. This one did feel like a director's somewhat early days, and on a lower budget. So there's definitely things in it where he's had to make decisions, just to make it happen. Like for instance, there's a plane crashes in the woods, and this kid is there, and there's kind of this shot where he's like, oh crap, there's a plane falling down in the out of the sky. So there is no shot of plane kids running. He's like, I'm running, and shit's like just flying, sticks and trees and shit, sparks are flying everywhere, but there is no like, you do not see plane. No, because they couldn't make the shot work. They couldn't build the front of a plane to slide. It doesn't matter. That's what I mean. It doesn't matter because it's all fun and it's well acted and the story is good, and
it's easier for your brain to fill in something that's not there than accept something that's there but badly done.
Yeah,
exactly. So what they choose to do is well done. That's the thing. There is some pretty big, there's some pretty big moments in it. Like there's explosions and, like you say, and people jumping out of airplanes.
Creative set pieces and action beats that are really just really creative, and you're just like, that's smart. That's a cool, even if it's not executed quite as well as some of Sisu, it's still like, you go, clever, I like that. And and also this one more so even than Sisu and Rare Exports, it's sort of like cherry picking 80s and 90s action movies, but then like doing a spin, like, so there's bits of Escape from New York, there's bits of Cliffhanger, there's bits of Air Force One, there's obviously bits of Die Hard, and but it's not that, because it's like this weird little Finnish kid is the main character, and he's just awesome with his bow and arrow. He's taking those dickheads on with bow and arrow.
Great.
I guess that's Rambo, isn't it? A little bit of Rambo.
There you go. Yeah, good movie.
I'll get around to it. I'll watch it.
You'll love it, James. I know you will.
It wouldn't be us talking about a film unless we dragged one film over 3 episodes.
Yeah, well, we can do a big game next week, and you still not watch Sisu, so Sisu can be in 6 months when it goes on Netflix or whatever.
Yeah. Did we do our trick that we said we were going to do, where one person watches that does the homework? Or I mean, I suppose we've kind of caught ourselves up now.
Unhinged we've done now, so that's something.
Yeah. So
We've
I
all
think I
done
messaged
Unhinged.
you guys halfway through, and I just messaged like into our little group chat there, and I said I'm not agreeing to watch any films live on the podcast anymore. Not after this fucking thing.
I've got it.
So we've got to think about what we say, I think.
Yeah.
We won't be getting the license or doing a poster for Unhinged.
We have to. I think we have to all make an effort to. Sometimes we spread ourselves too thin. We need to agree on one thing that we're gonna watch.
I expect you say that, but fuck that. That's what all the other podcasts do. This is different.
True. It's true.
Yeah, it's much worse.
Yeah, podcast schmodcast.
Who wants a good podcast that
Nobody
actually
wants a
works
good
out?
podcast that's coherent and consistent. None of that.
Our USP is describing a film to 2 of your mates that they have no interest in watching or no intention to watch.
You better fucking watch it, James.
Regardless of what we say.
We watched the little letters. Oh, what's it called? The one about the lady that gets or is sending sweary letters in like in the like 20s or whatever in England
With Olivia Colman.
Yeah, it's advertised as like a comedy, like because they're obviously like these posho, not posho, but like uptight English people of the 20s are getting these letters where they're like, "You fuck ass bastard" and stuff, and they're like, "Oh, outrageous!" Because they don't know, the person that's writing the letters doesn't know how to swear, so they just put in swear words into sentences. But it's not actually that funny. It's like quite a sad film, really. Quite.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
I have no idea
that's not how it was advertised. Some English movie.
Wicked Little Letters.
That was it. So it's got some funny bits in it, but it wasn't really funny, and it was actually more like sad and dramatic. We thought.
Was it good? The trailer made it look really good. It was one of those that was like.
It wasn't as good as a trailer because it wasn't really that funny.
Oh, okay.
The dad, Timothy Spall, is just an absolute fucking bastard. He's horrible, and he's just like, "This is grim." Well, then
he's
again,
so
he was
good
grim in the 20s. Oh, he's amazing in it. He plays this awful man so well. But yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? When a film is advertised to you a certain way, this is a light-hearted comedy romp. Oh, they do swear, and listening to people swearing is always funny. But the core of the film isn't actually funny because what it's about isn't a funny situation. So why advertise it like that?
Yeah,
because they think more people go see it, but then more people go, well, that's not what I was expecting.
Yeah, it's like the musical thing, right? I think we talked about it a couple of weeks ago, how they're trying to confuse everyone trick everyone into going to see musicals because people hate musicals. It's like, well, people like musicals. Just get the people that like musicals to see the musical.
Even weirder is like Wicked. Does the Wicked trailer even have the song in it?
No.
Defying Gravity.
Everybody knows that song. Have the song in the trailer.
I think they're wanting it to be
a little bit of a note of it.
The big reveal, though, I think, is because it's quite.
Everyone knows it already, so just put it in there and be like, "This is going to be a big song and dance number." Wow.
So there's that thing you do with trailers now, where it's like, "What we're going to do, right? Get this. No one's ever done this, right? We're going to do our trailer, and it's going to have piano twinkles." And then you're going to realize after 15 seconds that this is a pop song that you know.
God,
and it's like, incredible stuff. Look, it's David Bowie cover or whatever for fucking...
It's like the Transformers. It's like the Transformers 1 trailer's got the Rolling Stones in it. And you're like, okay.
So that's every trailer ever at the moment, right? Now, what Wicked has decided to do is do that to their own song and just have a twinkle of it on a piano. But I'm like, so you are saying it's going to have the music. Like, we understand it's a musical, but you still refuse to show us, even though you are playing the music in some form.
Show the people singing.
Yeah,
because you want to know whether they're doing a good performance of that classic song.
That's what it makes me think. Is it shit? Like, can she not? Can they not sing? Like, I know they can. Of course they can. But like, that's the only thing it makes me think is that they don't want to show the music because they're worried it's not going to sound like Kristen Chenoweth.
Some kind of feedbacks through the masses of research and tests and stuff that people don't like musicals now. But it's like, you're making a musical, so just be brash about it and be like, this is what it is. It's a bit like why Deadpool was so successful, because they were brash with the marketing, and they still are. This is what this is. It's fucking goofy and crude, but also smart.
Yeah.
There you go. You know what you're going to get.
Well, on the back of Chris's question last week, it kind of struck a bit of a chord with me about musicals and what films would be better for being musicals. And I ended up rewatching Popeye, Robin Williams, 1980.
Oh, wow.
Popeye.
I watched the Red Letter Media. They did a rewatch of that, and they were just talking about it. I loved that as a kid, that movie.
Same.
I'm assuming it's a bit weird when you watch it as a grown-up.
It's very... it is weird. Like, 1980 as well. Like, it's one of those films that came out much earlier than I thought it did.
Well, it's half 70s, half 80s, isn't it? It's a real crossover.
But it's still a good, fun film. I enjoyed it.
But it's like Robin Williams mumbling. Robin Williams is just... Have you never seen it?
No.
It was like a video here for some reason. Everybody watched it in England. Robin Williams isn't doing anything Robin Williams in it. It's really weird because that's his first ever movie. So he doesn't do any bits. And there's nothing Robin Williams-y. He's literally just doing Popeye. And then even then it's just mumbling and strange. It's an odd film. Olive Oil is the most perfect thing. It's mental, but Olive Oil is amazing.
Shelley Duvall.
She's the funny thing about the movie. She's really, really funny in it because she's all like bendy, like Olive Oil.
Because it's so strange, because it's so much of a direct interpretation as well. Like, it's...
You remember, it's there's the weird movies like that. There's a few where they're like really realistic, but they're not at the same time. Like Bugsy Malone is another one. And it's just like, this is bizarre because it's kids.
Tracy.
Well, it is. It fits into that mold.
It's so sort of like, and because it's the guy that did MASH, so it's really like naturalistic filmmaking. Like, there's a whole bit where they're just like having dinner and nothing really happens, but because it's like an ensemble cast. But then it's Popeye, and they all look like weird, grotesque freaks at the same time. So it's really a surreal movie to watch.
It is. I'd still like it though. I was like, am I going to like it? Because I loved it as a kid, and the songs are banging in it.
The production design is incredible because they built that whole town.
Yeah.
What?
They sing songs.
Oh, God, why do I watch this now?
They built the whole town that he goes to. The whole town they built for real. But it more than that, it was indoors and outdoors. So they filmed it there. And the indoor stuff is actually at this town, and the town still exists. You can go to it. It's like a real town.
Sweet Haven.
That they built for the film. It's bizarre.
It must have been so expensive to make.
Yeah, it's a bit like a Heaven's Gate situation. It was like where they went, you know what, we need to stop giving these directors carte blanche to do what they want, because they just all fall apart.
Shockingly,
it was strange.
Popeye is not available for streaming, so we probably won't be doing that.
Was it not on Disney? I've got it on Blu-ray. I banged it on. I didn't even...
It's a weird one, so maybe it isn't.
It's because it's Disney, isn't it? It's a Disney film.
I don't know. I really don't know what it is.
Other
than he's got the arms, but he's like a real man, and it's like,
it looks insane.
Puffed out.
What's wrong with his arms?
It's
got Pappy in it.
Plastic
it's got Pappy in it, and he's got the same arms. So it's like, it's some weird genetic defect that he's inherited.
They've got tumours in their arms.
There's a bit. What's the buddy called? Is it Bluto? What's he called?
Bluto,
right.
Yeah.
When he sees red, when he sees Popeye with olive oil, the whole thing goes red. But they
sounds pretty cool.
they repainted the whole set and everything because it's just really weird how they did it. So he's like, ah, and it is not a good movie, but it's also kind of a good movie. It's really weird.
Oh,
So like sounds like it's the end of a certain type of production design and filmmaking too. Like
it's very 70s.
They have to bloody watch.
It's Robert Altman.
Yeah, that's
I didn't realize.
Did MASH. Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah, not for me to. I can't watch it.
And what else did you do? Network or something? Was it Network you did? That's a good movie.
He did. Robert Altman did. What's the one about the movie studios with now we're doing this. Everyone's just Googling things.
I'm not. I'm just sat here watching you Google me.
Yeah. I was looking at cast list for Popeye.
Kind of annoying me.
Network. I think he did Network.
The Player. That was the one I was thinking of with old mate in it from Shawshank. That was a good. We watched it at that in school for some reason. Tim Robbins. That was the one. He's good.
It is strange the film.
For kids.
I think it all depends on what's kind of syndicated at the time when you were a kid, because I think that must have happened with Popeye.
Network is directed by Sidney Lumet or Lumet.
That must have been what happened with Popeye, because it was out in the cinemas in the 80s, so it would have been 81 in the UK, so it would have eventually made it to like ITV or BBC or whatever in 86, 87, which is kind of...
We had it on tape. I know we had it on tape.
I think it comes out next year.
Yeah, it's. I mean, without getting into that trap of, it's just such a weird artifact of a film, but it's also enjoyable.
You could do a double bill with it and Bugsy Malone, just two really weird films that will never ever get made.
Yeah,
I love Bugsy Malone.
It's one of Nat's favourite films.
You don't know Bugsy Malone?
No.
Bugsy Malone is a musical, and it's all kids. It's Jodie Foster's one of her earliest films.
I know Bugsy Malone.
She's Tallulah. My name is Tallulah.
I haven't seen
Bugsy Malone is this cool kid. It's Charchi, isn't it?
I'll be the judge of that.
And but they're all gangsters, and they've got Tommy guns, but the Tommy guns like shoot like pies out, and they pie each other in the face. And they've got gangster cars, but they've got bike pedals, and they're like, but it's played straight. It's a really good movie. Really, really good movie. A very extremely 70s and really cool songs. Same guy did the songs on that. Did I think maybe the Muppet songs in the Muppet movie.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Really cool songs. Yeah.
Yeah. It is a good film.
I'm just saying stuff that might not be true.
Doesn't matter. No one's checking, so you just say whatever you want.
It is now. It's no, it's
weird
Bugsy
shit
Malone
films.
is a brilliant movie.
1976, didn't know. Wow. Alan
It's
Parker.
one of Jodie Foster's earliest movies, isn't it? That and Taxi Driver.
Let's see who did the... No, I don't want to sign up for IMDb.
Who did the music?
Yeah.
Bugsy Malone.
Oh, you know what I did?
So you
what I
wanna
did
be
watch.
a fighter?
You wanna be your son
I'm
in
gonna
the
put that on
golden
there.
ring.
Anyway,
I'm
Bugsy
editing
Malone
that
is the one that we have to watch now this week.
Jesus.
Bugsy Malone and Popeye.
I hate it here. I've had it. I'm going home.
Right, what else we watched?
I
we've
watched
The
Inside
Bear.
Out too.
Oh, you watched Inside Out too?
Yeah.
Which
is an
interesting. See that?
An interesting. Well, it's going to make a bill, I reckon. Or it already has.
It has made a bill.
First film this year to make $1 billion?
Yeah. Same as Barbie.
It's almost as if to make $1 billion, you need to be a crowd-pleasing film that's very good and that people know about.
Just well done. Well, Little
Kids.
Ferg's review was this. She was in the movie so much that she forgot she was in the cinema. Which is her saying.
That's what it's all
She
about.
was just engrossed, you know. It was a really nice way of putting
good.
it. I was so in the movie.
Yeah. Yes, I think it's actually very, very good, and it's very, very important as well, because it brings in, well, not to spoil anything, but the main crux of it is that new emotions come in as the kid turns 13 from the first one. And it's
Anxiety
a different film.
stuff.
Anxiety comes in and plays a big role. And I think it's, as I was watching it, I'm like, well, having a 10-year-old girl in sitting next to me and thinking, ooh, we're going to be dealing with all of this real soon. and kind of it felt a little bit like when we were watching Barbie and thinking like, we could put this. I feel like we could put this in schools and kind of get a conversation going around certain things. It's very much that way, but for mental health and like growing up and dealing with stuff in much the same way as the first one was for like little kids. It's just if they can do this again, if it's made $1 billion, they're going to get another go. If they could do college or entering the workforce, process. Like I don't know. Yeah, like
retirement.
Keep
retirement. Do Inside Out 6, and she gets Alzheimer's and starts losing the marbles because they've literally got marbles.
Yeah.
Did you ever think that about Inside Out, that they've got marbles?
I didn't until just then, but that's very good. There is one joke I'll slightly spoil, but it's just a little tiny thing, and there's like a, because they're all a certain type of person, these manifestations of the emotions, right? So there's just this old lady that sort of keeps coming in early. She's not meant to be there yet, and it's just, oh, I remember that. And they're like, nostalgia, you're not here for another like 10 years. Just get out. Like they keep shoving her back in there. Like, remember when we played that game against and I just it's great. Anyway, 10 stars. Go see that. Make it make $2 billion so we can have good things again.
Do you have to watch Inside Out 1 to understand Inside Out 2?
I would say...
you've not seen Inside Out?
Yeah.
Oh, mate.
You fucking absolute moron.
Honestly, you fuck you. The most emotionally devastated I think I've ever been at a cartoon or a Disney film is Inside Out.
Really?
I don't
more so than Up. It's the bit. I'm not going to say it's James.
I know the
bit, but you know the bit.
I know the bit.
I don't think I can cope with any more emotional devastation at the minute. Maybe we'll see. Maybe it helps,
but it's also
it makes you think about
it. Thing in it, and yeah.
Okay.
The difference between an Inside. Sorry, I'll say this quickly. The interesting thing, Inside Out versus, say, a Furiosa, is that with an Inside Out, we go through these not so great things to get to a nice thing at the end. We don't end up with a man with a tree growing out of his dick hole.
There's resolution to it, which is kind of important in a film.
Yeah. Especially for kids.
Interestingly enough, little Ferg watched the first one again before she went to see number 2, and she's watched it a few times, but when she watched it when she was a lot littler, obviously, and the devastating bit, never really seemed to bother her, but this time it did. And as you think, oh, she's getting older, she understands the passage of time there, and it's like a bit like when you go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I've been doing the whole like, when my daughter gets pissed off at me or she's like rolls her eyes, I'm like, I just grab her head and I'm like looking inside. I'm like, oh, yeah, anger's taken over. Okay, ennui is in there. Oh, a bit of envy maybe towards your mates, whatever they've got that we don't have or whatever. It's like, and it sort of diffuses it. But also gets her thinking about
she's going to kick you in the balls at some point. What sort of fucking
it's already happened
already
happened 1,000 times. Don't worry about that. Oh, the worst ball kick I've ever had in my life was from that child, and this was before she was conscious of it. But you've got the baby carrier, right? You put the kid on your chest when they're 1 or whatever. So I was always on that duty, and I just strapped her in. And at some point, you'll have them. They're facing you when they're very little, and that you then after a certain time you face them out, and that's great because then they're all just doing this, and you can just wander around and do what you need to do. Anyway, I had her facing out, and we just parked the car. Yep, got out, strapped her in, walking into the shops, just going across the road, and the foot just goes whack, like her little foot just goes back into the angle and just like literally dropped me to the floor.
Conkers.
I'm down on my knees. Like, the cars are honking, and this man with a baby strapped to him is just like lying down on the ground. That was a good one.
So, have you been doing some carpentry, or have you just painted your nails?
I'm not a really bad. I haven't smacked the shit out of my hands. No, it was school holidays, so we were doing. Mabes was like, "Can you show me how to do my nails?" Blah blah. And I was like, "Oh, I used to be an old hand at this back in my emo days. That'll get the old black out and have a go."
Were you a full nail man, or were you just the bottom bit?
Just the bottom bit. I don't know what that means, but yeah, full nail, man.
Some folks just used to do the. I was a full nail guy, but some folks just used to do the lower bit for some reason,
like a French tip or whatever. Then isn't that what they call that?
The opposite.
Is that like a Retford thing?
No,
I think like a weird prison thing. I've never heard of that.
Weird prison stuff.
Hey, they've got a golf course out there. Don't worry about that.
The bear was pretty good though. We watched the first episode because we're stretching it out because we like to stretch the facts like Sweet Tooth. We're only watching one of them a week because it's really good. But that first episode of the bear was something, and the experimental sort of editing it was really good because they were using vignettes and scenes to tell you what he's thinking in his mind. Just brilliant shit.
The balls to come out with one of the most highly regarded TV shows of a long time, probably since Breaking Bad. The balls to come out of the gate with an episode like that for the new series is incredible. And you couldn't have done that. You couldn't have done that episode in series 1.
No, well, it's stream of consciousness, really large in visuals. So like you're like, oh, what time is this? And that's not what it's not important. You don't need to know what time he is or where he is or what it's literally just like the feeling and then all the things that add up to where he is now in the show. So it's sort of like it's a last time on the bear / a last time in his mind up to the fridge and then what he's going to maybe do next and all those things that culminated to where he is now and all had an effect. It's brilliant.
There's been a lot of negativity around this season generally, not from everybody, but some of the negativity is that it's treading water, that not much is happening.
It's one of the best episodes of TV I've ever seen.
I wholeheartedly agree. Could not agree more. But I think a lot of people are maybe somewhat missing the point of what it's trying to do with this series, because it's exploring human emotions, it's exploring how people react, it's looking at how folks' history and how their environment can change their well-being.
I can see how the way people watch TV now, if they don't really pay attention to that first episode and realize that it's just him thinking and going over everything. Mm-hmm. The stuff goes back and forth, because that's what you do when you're like, I fucked up, I really fucked up. And you think about all the stupid fucking shit you've done, or good shit you've done, and you go round and round. And that's what that was. But I can imagine people just going, I don't understand what's going on. Why is he there? What's he in Copenhagen for? Now all of a sudden he was in New York a second ago. I thought he's from Chicago. And it's just like, it's because it's back and forth, going over and over shit, and because he's fucking like, shit, I really.
Well, he's having a crisis, isn't he? He's having a crisis.
Gone, and he thinks he's fucked up the restaurant. It's brilliant.
He's trying to be something that he's not necessarily. He's trying to live up to something, and it's kind of mirroring. I've watched the first 4 episodes of the new season, but it's kind of like there seems to be a destructive nature within that family, and it's somewhat kind of cutting back to how his mum was, and it's like the journey what happened to his mum and how his mum got to that part. It's kind of, you're starting to see that reflected in Carmi, and how
he's worried that he's going to be like them. He's worried.
Well, because he
in doing so,
he knew that he was. Yeah, and he ran away and found something that helped him fix that part of himself in some way. Like you see the
control,
OCD nature of it all, and it's the same every day. And we just do the things, and then it happens, right? If you do everything perfectly, everything will be perfect, and that's not what his life has been. So he's found a bit of that now for some fucking reason. Well, because his brother died and he had a breakdown, but he's back here and is trying to fix Chicago with this stuff, and it's just not working, and it probably won't work. And he has to. We obviously get to a point where he's got to realize that he needs to let some of it go. Like these non-negotiables is just a fantastic new addition to like fucking pissing everybody off.
Yeah,
like, what's good, I think, is with the last season, the core thing of he had such a massive positive influence on all of those people's lives. They all got immeasurably better and did things that they didn't think they could do. And he just thought he was fucking up, and he just thought he was shit. And I think it's about him putting it all on himself, and then he needs to sort of learn to work with those people as well. And it's like a balance between the two, which hopefully he'll get to. That
massive collaboration, right? And he hasn't.
He's not following into the whole thing if that happens.
I don't think we're going to get one because that's not how this show works. I think so they're doing They're doing 4 seasons, right? That's what
there'll be a resolution one way or the other, surely, because it's incredibly good storytelling.
True. Something that was interesting, I found, like not so much story wise, but production wise, and I have a feeling that this the creator of the show, he writes every episode, at least him and someone else. And directs most of them, except for episode 6, which is directed by what's the main chick? That's the other chef, Ada Berry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So she directs out, and that is I've watched all of it, so that's an amazing. That one's an amazing episode, and I think you'll be talking about that the way you're talking about episode 1. It's really, really good. But what I want to say about the actual construction and production and commitment to the perfection of the show, this guy must have some of Kami's qualities. I think that's why that character feels so real, because I don't know if the Copenhagen stuff was filmed in Copenhagen. It felt like it was at the time. I'm pretty sure it is. There's shots in the first episode that are half a second long of him standing on a street in Copenhagen. Then there's another one of him on the boat watering the plant that goes for 2 seconds. So did they go and shoot in Copenhagen to make 3 seconds of film?
It comes back though, doesn't it? So there's more stuff.
From what I've read, is that they, like in season 2, they shot a lot. Some of what is in season 3, they shot in season 2 when they were filming at that time. Yes. And also they've shot stuff for season 4 from season 3. And I can kind of, watching those 4 episodes, I can kind of see maybe what they have.
Sure.
Potentially.
That was my other option for it, and I thought that must have been the case. But then I was, and that still goes towards it, because it still goes towards them. He's thinking that far ahead. Like a lot of these shows, you can't work that way because we don't know the exact story we're telling. He obviously does. He's got it all in his head. And it's just
I think some of it must have to do with, 1, with location, and 2, actor availability. Because if you've got like Joel McHale and Olivia Colman,
wild
make the most of them while you've got them.
But also going back to what you were saying, who joins the cast this season, you won't believe it. I didn't believe it.
Oh, really?
That's so good.
Oh, I've seen.
It's
somebody really
Don't
good.
spoil it for anybody.
No, I'm not spoiling, but I've seen it on the old internet, and I was like, I'm excited about that.
Internet.
Oh, okay. But going back to what we were saying about Inside Out, it's almost like The Bear for me it's got a certain allegorical feel that a lot of the characters around him represent different things. Like you've got Richie, there's chaos and conflict, and then you've got, I can't remember her name now. It's gone.
Ada Berry.
Yeah, she's kind of a bit more of a calming influence and resolution and balance. And then you've got the lunacy of Fak and all of those guys. So that you kind of got all of these like different elements.
Comes back to like, I hate to say it, comes back to Star Trek, because that was the first TV show to do that. It was the first TV show to do that, where Spock and McCoy are aspects of Captain Kirk's personality.
Yeah.
And then he takes on what they say and makes a decision. That's like one of the key cornerstones of Star Trek. And I think you're right, there is elements to that in the show where you can, without having to sort of have a voice over what he's thinking or whatever, blah, 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 you can have another character say or do something, etc.
Yeah.
And then it was some good editing to make you think, oh, I understand what they're thinking here. It's a really good show for getting across what the people and the characters are thinking.
Personally, this season 3 for me so far, I only watched 4 episodes, but it's been no worse or no better than what's come before. In fact, I would say season 2 was better than season 1, and I would say season 3 is on par with season 2.
It'll just be people's expectations, and then when something gets popular like this, they just love
to tear it down.
To tear it down straight away whenever they can. It's the same shit with like Star Wars. Star Wars is massively popular, so certain people want to tear it down. And it's like, you know what? Just stop watching it if you're not enjoying it.
It's also because it's not traditional filmmaking, isn't it? Right? Or TV making. It's very much. I can't think of anything that is like The Bear, because each episode is almost kind of done in a different style to a degree. Like those first 3 episodes, you've got that one that's a bit of a kind of a, I'm going to say flashback, but it's not flashback. It's kind of more his stream of consciousness and stream of memories. Then you've got the next one that's kind of a little bit more, again, still very introspective. And then the third one, which is a bit more of a traditional episode. But also, have you noticed as well how it's edited, and when a scene will just suddenly end and it'll cut to black and then fade back up again? And it's quite
editing is off the charts, incredible.
Yeah.
The construction of the show is just it's you're right, it's pure, it's unique, and it is that you notice a pattern in this stuff, right? So we usually start with a fallout from a disaster or a somewhat chaotic episode where we're figuring it out, and then they also have the episode which is just one character's story, which are actually my favorites. That they didn't. I don't know if that was I don't remember season 1 as much as I remember season 2. Obviously, it's a bit further away. I don't know if they did that so much. Maybe they did it more so with Kami, but I don't know. But having like the pastry chef's episode is an absolute standout. Yeah. Richie's episode is maybe my favorite out of all of them. And in episode 6 in this season, we get one again, and it's just amazing. I don't know what my point was now, but there's just I can't say enough good things. Like there's not a single element or episode or any of it that isn't. It may not be your favorite episode, but it's still giving you so much. I
think it's like what we were talking about last week. It's quite clear that it's a singular vision. They know what they want to say, and then they do it, and they're not worried about confusing stupid people or making things like super clear. It's like, this is what we want to do. This is what we're doing. Because so many films nowadays will have a flashback for no reason, and even sometimes it's not even a flashback, it'll just show you. So like Oppenheimer did this, and he just pissed me off so much when he said he knew Von Braun or whatever.
Oh
yeah, I know Kung Fu. And then it just cut and showed the guy, and I'm like, I saw him 20 minutes ago when he met him. I can remember.
Yeah,
well, they've done that because they think people are dumb and they won't be able to remember the character that he's talking about. And it does it in loads of films. Blade Runner 2049 does it when they talk about, it cuts back to the earlier bit with Batista and shows him. And I'm like, I remember that from earlier. I've seen it. I know what the reference is. I know what this scene pertains to that scene. Don't need to see that because I've got a fucking memory. I'm not an idiot. But then, you see, they think, well, maybe we need to have these things for people that haven't necessarily been paying attention. But The Bear doesn't do that. The Bear's just like, if you didn't pay attention, fuck off.
Yeah. And also, it takes a while. It doesn't necessarily sink in straight away. Like, I watched that first episode, and I didn't jump straight into episode 2. I kind of thought, oh, okay. And I sat and thought about that for a while. And it does make you think that how much of it is studio intervention. You know, like when you talk about Blade Runner 2049, Nolan films. I think Nolan's
got no studio intervention. He just does that in
there's just because it's evident across everything. There's so many lines in Batman that are like that, and anything. It's just it's something that is inherent.
Well, he does think
films.
Everyone's stupider than him, so
he likes to really hammer the point across to the point of me going, okay, I get it.
Yeah, I'm cleverer than you. Look at how smart I am. No, we fucking get it. They're going backwards through time. We know.
He's in the bookcase. I'm not stupid. I hated Interstellar for that. I was just like, oh, shut up. I'm not. I get it.
Interstellar
could have been really good, but it just was like.
It's one of my least favourite films.
It wound me up so much, that movie.
It just on so many.
Watch it again, because what it was it wasn't that it was bad, because it was incredibly well made, and I loved the idea and the conceit of it. But it was treating me like I was a moron, and I was like, no, I know this, I can follow it. And then you compare it to something like 2001, which it's obviously trying to be. 2001 doesn't explain shit. It's just like, here's the thing, goodbye.
It's quite.
And I prefer that. I prefer that because I can make my own mind up. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
I don't disagree. But they flew around a black hole, and it was real fucking cool.
Oh, it's awesome. This is the thing. It's not that it's a terrible film, Interstellar. I just felt like it could have been better if it didn't explain itself so much. And because the potential for me was for that to be like a really good sci-fi movie. And there was just elements of it where I was like, I'm not a moron. I get it.
Marv. Come on.
So anyway, the bear. Yeah, to the bear. I think for me, he wouldn't have been. I think Disney have kind of given him free reign now. I think after season 1, they kind of said, "Look, have at it. Do what you want. We'll not step in. We'll not." At least how it comes across.
Well, it's Fox, isn't it? So I think there's something going on at FX, Fox, because they did Apes. Let's talk about Apes. Obviously, but also like
Segments
Shogun
of the Planet of the Apes.
Shogun is them, and they just seem to be like stepping back and going, do your thing.
I think what's happening, my theory with Fox and FX is because I would say that they're kind of like batting above their average. Like they're doing everything they're doing is really good. And I think what's happened is Disney bought Fox, right? Acquired all these bits and bobs. Well, like, oh, it's fine. You'll be 20th century. We're just going to change that. Blah, blah, blah. Then they forgot they bought them, right? So Disney's forgotten that FX and Fox exist. They forgot they own all that stuff. So they're just over there going, guys, Mum hasn't come back. We're on our own. Let's just while we can, before they come back, this is like, we're just gonna get going. We're gonna get going, and they're like just putting like all. We're gonna make. We know we're gonna make a Predator movie, and we're not even gonna call it Predator. They'd never let us do that.
I think that there's an element of that, but I think maybe it's sort of like they've got autonomy and they've got money. They've clearly got money because the productions are incredible. Like Shogun is such a beautiful TV show. It's insane. But it's that like maybe like Disney are like this is the area where we can take risks, but you've got a certain amount of money to take the risks, because they've also got the area of the Star Wars and the Pixar and the Disney animated films, which are like the bread and butter and awesome shit. So, but then there's potential for that stuff to surprise and then come up and become the awesome shit as well. So it's just like very smart to have a little cordoned off area where you put people and go do what you want.
They're not pumping out quantity, are they?
No.
But everything that they do is quality. But they also seem to have it's kind of, they've got a reputation for it. Like with the Always Sunny in Philadelphia guys, they're kind of just left to do.
It's like less is more, isn't it? Though, like you say, there's not a huge amount. It's a bit like Apple TV. There's not huge amounts of it, but it's nearly always guaranteed to be good.
FX has always been a good. Like the quality has always been quite high. You think back. But
it was interesting because their reputation was always for cancelling stuff early, wasn't it? Like when you think of, they had, because originally that's where Family Guy was, and they cancelled it, and
this is like 25 years ago, isn't it?
Firefly and things, and they kind of seem to have thought their business model seems to have been, okay, well, let's focus on just getting, because I reckon there must be so much stuff over there that is in development but never sees the light of day because somebody's just killed it because they don't feel it's going
anywhere.
Like
that everywhere, I would have thought.
So I'm gonna go through this.
Is the Orville. The Orville isn't coming back, is it? And that's sad. But I guess they've got a sci-fi TV show.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Orville, like, I wouldn't say it's dead, but we'll see how it goes, right? I mean, it
doesn't matter though, really, because it ends really.
That's true. It's perfect as it is. So here's some FX shows just so we can remember what they actually did. You've got The Bear, obviously. Sons of Anarchy was one of those, which was massive for a while. Justified, which was cool. What We Do in the Shadows, Fargo, they do. Atlanta, which is incredible. Legion, which is incredible. The Shield, Always Sunny.
Shogun was awesome.
Yeah, Shield was awesome. What else have we got? Oh yeah, Orville. So they've got some Debs, which was that was really awesome. That was really cool. Just heaps of shit.
There seems to be like the key to it all is it seems to be like originals. There's not very much adaptation stuff going on, and it's also like, I mean, I know Shogun's an adaptation, so that's the exception there. But it's like an area that they've earmarked for where they can do creative stuff and take some gambles, perhaps with slightly less money, I would have thought. It's like something like The Bear probably doesn't cost a huge amount to make, does it? 'Cause it's just them walking around and there's like 3 locations.
Yeah.
But
they got the Noah Hall, like to let Noah. I think it seems what they're doing at FX is they find a creator that they like, and they let them do the thing, which is the most important thing you can do,
isn't it? That Wes Ball guy, they were like, he was doing that mouse guard thing, and then they were like, well, we're liking this, but we want to do another Apes movie. Fancy it? And he was just like, yeah.
He was like, yeah, monkeys are just like real big mice. So,
and then it's just like an awesome movie. And then is Zelda with them as well? Then is that
Zelda's with them.
See, I've got high hopes for
Wes
that.
Ball's directing Zelda, mate. Because I knew that going in. Don't you? Not for a second did I not think constantly like, oh my god, this is it. We're doing it. The bit on the horse where they have to circle back around and he has to scoop up his spear and they're like going at each other. Like, come on.
He just knows he could do an awesome Zelda movie. And the key thing is he's obviously somewhere where they care about like the creative and they give them a bit of space, because like Apes is a big movie, but it's again very much like its own thing.
I hope he loses his marbles and he goes down the Popeye and the Dick Tracy route. Styles out.
Did you ever see the Popeye test though? Gennady Tchaikovsky, the guy that did Samurai Jack and the original Clone Wars, he did a test animation for Popeye a few years ago that was awesome. It leaked online, and it was like a really cool cartoon because of the way how he does animation. It's really kinetic. And then they were just like, "Nah, Hotel Transylvania, please."
Yeah.
Which again, Hotel Transylvania movies, although they are awful, some of the animation in them is brilliant.
Oh, sure,
brilliant animation.
Look, there's a place for those movies, and there's a reason they make a lot of money, and that's because kids are fucking dumb. That's why. How's that sound? Don't trust the kids. Old guys is where it's at.
Honestly, the first Hotel Transylvania, I'm not saying it was good because I don't think it was good, but I didn't hate watching it with the kid.
Yeah,
and
it's fine.
There's some really good animation. That guy who did Samurai Jack is one of the best animators, and they should let him do Popeye.
Right. Have we got any questiones for this year?
Yeah, questions.
I'll look and I'll ask them today because I did tweet.
Oh, okay.
That doesn't mean anybody's replied because I only tweeted about half an hour ago.
As we know with Twitter, it's broken. So there you go.
Oh, Twitter.
Right, so
this is good, isn't it? That's good.
Oh, there's a few questions. Right, okay. What's your favourite spy movie?
Whoa. Spy with Melissa McCarthy and Jason Statham.
That's a good movie. Jason Statham's very good in that movie.
It's the best thing he's done in
he's so
maybe
funny.
Ever. Since Lock, Stock.
I literally would. That's a plane movie. I watched that on the plane, and I was just like, when you're enjoying a stupid comedy so much on a plane that you're laughing, and then the people sat next to you are just like, "What's wrong with this person?" One of them times.
Favorite spy film?
Spy film. I mean, it's Jimmy Bond. We got Jason Bourne. We got MI, Mission Impossible. I mean, that's the big franchises, but.
The best spy thing, maybe not film, is Slow horses, though.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I was literally going to say Slow Horses is the fucking best.
I am. As
So
much as it pains me, I am looking forward to that.
Oh god, it's so
new
good.
Series.
The Pringles thing in the last series with the Pringles, woof, brilliant. Anyway, that leads me on to one of my favourites, which is the Gary Oldman one, Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. That is a real good movie.
Boring though, isn't it?
No, it's not boring at all. It's absolutely fucking brilliant.
James, I would have thought you'd liked it because you could do all your emails during it like you usually do when you watch stuff.
Nope, I've been cutting off
think
work.
you can't really beat the classic, can you? Like the James Bond, and I really like Doctor No. I really like Doctor No.
Doctor No, Thunderball, the Connery ones.
GoldenEye is really good.
I mean, give me a bit of Skyfall as well. I love Skyfall. I know.
Skyfall. The whole
Crumble.
Sean Bean thing and the dam and everything. GoldenEye is really cool.
GoldenEye was my favourite for a long time.
Yeah, I like GoldenEye.
GoldenEye just got like such a bump from the N64 though. Like, I think the film and the game are like intertwined in my mind now. Like in that movie, does he go through the vent and pop some guy in the toilet at the start? I don't think so, but you do that in the game, so that's what the movie is. I don't.
Yeah, he does. He
fight
out
someone in a bunch of. Yeah, but you don't. Yeah, you shoot the guy's head off.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Awesome.
What's the worst spy movie?
The worst Spy with
some of the other
McCarthy
James
and Jason Statham.
Some of the other James Bonds.
Spy Hard or something. Is that one?
I remember
Spy Kids 3.
Spy Kids.
Oh, what was that one?
They're not that bad Spy Kids movies, you know.
What was that film with the pigeons? The animated movie with Will Smith as a pigeon. That was a nightmare.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Oh,
it's Spies in Disguise or some shit like that. Trash. I remember specifically being in the cinema for Die Another Day. Is that the one with that's Madonna and the guy has the diamonds in his face in the invisible car, right? And watching that and being like, well, this is over. They'll never make another one of these. Because that movie fucking sucks.
With the windsurfing.
Yeah, just terrible.
Casino
and that was just
was a
off
real
the
nice
back
surprise.
that was off the back of GoldenEye, right? Because it goes. Is that
no,
the one
there
up?
was World.
One in the
Tomorrow never
dies. World is not enough. Then Die Another Day.
I went to see one of those at the cinema. I think probably World is not enough. Is that the one with Robert Carlyle?
No, it's Jonathan. So that's Tomorrow Never Dies. It's Jonathan Hyde Pierce. That's The World Is Not Enough. Oh no, it's the other way around.
That's
Fraser.
Right. Niles, isn't it?
No, what's his?
Jonathan Hyde Pierce.
Jonathan Pryce. Yeah,
that's it. Yeah, Jonathan Pryce.
He's like a Rupert Murdoch type.
Oh,
he just wanted to control the news.
Yeah. Anyway, they're real shit. Talk about like people are like, oh, we had a Casino Royale, then we had a dip, then we came back, and maybe his Daniel Craig's era wasn't that good, mate. Pierce Brosnan had a fucking shit run. He had one good one, and then the rest are just shit. Like they're garbage. They're some of the worst ones that they've made.
Yeah,
I hate them.
So another question.
Yeah,
we'll end on that Florey hates spy movies. If you guys, we've done this before, but we'll do it anyway. If you guys weren't doing what you do now, what jobs would you have liked to be doing?
I would like to be just independently wealthy for no particular reason.
So
is that a job?
Okay.
Is that a job? I like to make toys. How does that sound?
I know. Make toys is good. I would like to be in charge.
Just
Downing
that would
Street?
be my job. No, the world.
Oh, the
God.
world.
That'd be my alternate job, I think.
How would you do that?
Because I would totally be a... What? What
would you do that from a floating asteroid like Magneto? Would you have a big building made of gold? How would you... Where the headquarters?
I would like it to be inside a giant building of myself. And I'm inside my own head.
You enter through the penis.
and I can make it walk.
Oh, okay. Is it a building so much as a mech, maybe? It's
a building, but the arms can pop out, like big. So it turns into a robot.
Oh, man. So this seems to less about.
It's not really. I don't think that's a realistic option.
Also, is that a job? If you are the boss of the world, what do we?
You got to tell people what to do. That's a job.
Yeah, fair.
Hard work.
I mean, that's a dictatorship.
Is it dictatorial? Dickish?
Well, it'd have to be because I'm not gonna rescind power. So
yeah,
it's pretty much how it works around here.
In reality, I think I would probably like to be like in charge of some sort of marketing department for a film company. That would be another job I would like.
This is the thing.
Where I have decisions. So what I mean by being in charge is where my decisions, I really get to say, this is how this whole thing should go.
The thing that's tricky about that is with the what we do. It's like, I don't think we do this as a job because we want to. Like, I'd be doing this anyway. I have to make things, so it'd have to be something like that anyway.
It'd have to be something creative where I get to go, oh, what about this? What about that? And that's what really gets let me out of bed, is trying to fix something, you know? Maybe I'd be a builder. Could build a house.
What about you, James?
What about you, James? What would you do? Or what would you like to do?
Go back to the bank?
I don't know.
Pro golf.
Make some money
left
again?
Left alone.
That's it. Well, independently wealthy.
Pro golfer?
No, because I'm not. Well, the thing, there's. I think it's the kind of question you have to think about what's within your skill set, right? In reality, if I was good enough at golf, I would be a pro golfer, but I'm not good enough at golf.
Could you be Happy Gilmore and just come last at every event and just get the 15 grand or whatever it is?
yeah. God, yeah. No. I don't know.
It's all in the hips. It's all in the hips.
I kind of think. I think about. I think I never, because I never sit still. I'm always thinking about what you could do and what I don't know. Like, I guess in a dream world that within reality, but even then, fiscally, it makes no sense. Is I always wanted to run a bar. I always wanted to run like an arcade-ish bar kind of thing. But you know.
Why is that?
There's nothing stopping
you could do
me
that. Why is that not real? That's not realistic. Like,
if something, I mean,
something
you would like, that's if you would like to do that. I think in reality you would hate it because you'd have to talk to people and there'd be people to serve and stuff. You know, would you not be behind the bar? Would you?
Have you seen him
in an office?
Have you seen him at
he likes doing that, doesn't he? Yeah, shit, I forgot. Yeah,
the kind of the dream, the kind of short, like medium to long term plan is to kind of move. I'd like to move abroad and just do something
for tax purposes.
I don't know. Like whatever.
So I just
great answer.
I don't know. I just realised we didn't say who asked these questions. So
okay.
We didn't say this, James. We didn't say
the spy question was from Spy Hard's a spy movie podcast.
Oh,
so they're on brand. And then Dave Kennedy asked the one about what would you like to be doing if you didn't do this. And then we'll ask one more question. Have we got time for one more question?
Sure.
Yeah.
This goes for as long as it goes for, mate.
Okay, well, I'm not going to read all of these because most of them are crap. Well, Racetrack, 1982 says Megatron or Galvatron.
Well, it's tough.
I know what my answer is.
I think it has to be Megatron because you can't get there without him, and he is really cool, and we've had a lot more of him. It has to be Megatron.
I understand, but I would say for me Galvatron because I like the design. He stamps on that crown after he's blasted Starscream to bits. He is Megatron, isn't he? He's just so salty and pissed off. It's great.
I know
voice
what
changes.
Galvatron is.
Megatron turns.
I do though. I'm being
Megatron turns into Galvatron. I just love the design. A perfect toy of Galvatron would be good because there is a perfect toy of Megatron. The Masterpiece one is a very good toy. So I would love a really good Masterpiece Galvatron that was perfect because I just love the big orange cannon, or shredder style
I would love a G1 one of him. Like, I know this is getting off topic.
The big grey one,
big grey purple thing that looks nothing like him. That's it. I need that thing. It's cool. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's one of those ones where, how cool were toys back in the day where they were like, this is the toy of this character, and you're like, well, he's red and this is purple, and it's like 6 foot tall, and he doesn't look anything like that. They just went off the early design or whatever.
Optimus Prime or the Rodimus Prime toy is like that big. It's like 6 inches, maybe 5. The Galvatron toy, who in this film is the same size as those, is a good massive, because it turns into a cannon that you can hold. That's the toy that you see you can hold. And it's just a big massive brick with a big head that pops out, and it's stupid.
I saw one. Did I show you that? I saw it in a second-hand store, but it was all busted up. So
they had a box one at that toy fair me and James went to, but I'm not paying 250 quid for it.
Why not?
I was like, because I'm just not.
It looked pretty cool in your inside your office, inside your head.
The only one I've ever paid that much for is that crystal hot rod there. So I've got 3 hot rods. Original hot rod, the cartoon colour one, and then the crystal one, which is clear crystal plastic. And I paid, I think, more than that. I might have paid like 300.
That's a lot. You didn't tell me it was that much. Because it came in the box.
Well, it was boxed. It was boxed. I just opened it. Yeah. So it's not worth that much now. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, tax. That's right off, isn't it?
I've not applied the stickers. I've not applied the stickers because it comes with a sticker sheet, obviously the same as the original one. But then it's not as crystalline, so I've just left it without.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of if you like it without. The stickers are annoying. Like, really, come on, we shouldn't be doing this. I know it's from 40 years ago, but if you like it without this, like I've got the kids have seen it. I don't know where it is now. It's around here somewhere. But I bought that yellow Tonka Devastator when I was with you guys. And I haven't put the stickers on that because I just like it. It's just really yellow. I just like it.
I like sometimes to sit down and spend half an hour putting stickers on really with tweezers, like really carefully, and I take my time on it. But I never have half an hour to do that, so I don't often do it.
But that's such
I did it on that Springer because I got that Springer there. I got that boxed Springer, and I put the stickers on that.
A lot of people don't realise that's what one of the orange things is. That the orange thing in Lego Sport is not only popping it out but applying stickers.
Oh, like you use the spatula end and kind of like smooth it down. Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, you like perch the sticker on the end so you can apply it and then you smooth it down.
Oh, is that how you cock up all your stickers and have to order new sheets? Is that how that happened?
That was before I realised I had to do that. I did that once.
Yeah, no, because I was at yours and we were talking about something, and then Nat, James's wife, just pops her head in and she's like, he just orders new stickers if he fucks up the stickers. I'm like, what? I didn't even know you could do that. This guy's emailing Lego for new stickers.
They have a portal that you go onto and they send it you for free. Like, because it was because the instructions were wrong on the Transformers Lego.
Oh, were they?
So they told you to put the sticker on the wrong way around.
On the legs?
Yeah.
I didn't because I knew the right way around. Because I know what the fucking character looks like.
It was you that told me, so that's what I had to get. That was what she was referring to. But I also did it on the X-wing. I fucked it up on the X-wing, but I fucked it up on the clear glass canopy on the cockpit. So I had to get a sticker sheet and a new canopy. And they charged me like £1 for the canopy or whatever.
But I've done, like when I'm building a whatever it is Lego Friends treehouse or whatever with the kids, and I'm doing the stickers, that I fuck them up and then just take them off and put them back on. What's the big deal?
They have a crease in them.
No, if you do it properly,
right?
I get it. It's a $600 Lego, right?
Yeah. I just let little Ferg do it. She just does the stickers herself when she does things like that. I'm like,
yeah, but you're also not a fucking lunatic when it comes to stuff like this.
She's happy with how it looks.
Yeah.
So
yeah, but but this is different. When I was little Ferg's age, it would have messed my mind and I'd have thrown it off a ferry or something if it wasn't quite right.
Yeah, it's
just different people.
Yeah, I know.
You know, it's like that's how I am. It's how my brain's wired. I can't not.
I treat all my stuff terribly. Like it's really expensive toys and stuff. I don't care.
Yeah. So that's again, I fit right in the middle. Like, there's a reason that my original Game Boy from when I was a little lad is sitting over there in perfect condition because I looked after shit. But then, I don't know, some stuff.
I was an animal, though.
And...
I was a little animal. Like, all of our old Lego, a lot of it that is in tubs at my mum and dad's has just got teeth marks on it because I used to just bite it, to take it apart.
This tracks perfectly, doesn't it, James? It just fits perfectly with the character. Yeah.
And so there's loads of teeth marks.
Right, we're going to have to wrap it up. I've got a meeting in 2 minutes.
Someone's got to do work. Okay, well, with that then, I guess we're done for another week.
Good luck with the meeting.
Boring.